going on, everybody? So it's me, truck driver Sean. I know it's been a while since I have done a review of a fragrance, and it's because I took a little break. Long story short, I don't know. I needed a break from people just being generally shitty because I'm a metal guy reviewing fragrances, and it took me a while just to realize that I love fragrances as much as I love playing guitar. So one decision I made was I am no longer going to be doing two channels. So look at the thumbnails, folks. You don't see me being a jackass with a guitar, talking about reviewing a piece of guitar gear. I'll be doing a fragrance. And I could be doing a mask. So I'm going to start reviewing masks now. Something new I'm dabbling in. So yeah, it's called the Truck Driver Sean channel. I mean, you could find all kinds of stuff. I mean, obviously, I still play guitar. Even in my fragrance reviews, I'm gonna play a little piece of music that's usually kind of indicative to where the fragrance kind of takes me a little bit. Unlike Johnny Depp, who plays a really shitty guitar lick for Sauvage, Alexa, but Dieu. Fuck that guy. All right. This guitar player drives me nuts that guy's famous for shit. All right. So, today we're going to come at you with Zaharoff Signature Rose. Now, for those of you who followed Smell Good fragrance reviews, you know that I hate Rose. I do. But I love George. And I think the guy's a genius. So, when he was coming out with a rose fragrance, I said, you know what? I'm going to forget it's a rose fragrance, and it's just one of George's fragrances, and I'm going to give it a stab. Because I hate rose. Like, literally, dislike rose in the most severe way you could ever possibly think of. So, only thing I might dislike more than rose is the squeakiness of this chair. Because this chair is like from 1982. Like, I think it's from the old IBM building. But it holds my fat ass up, so life is good. All right, so with George, you get pretty much the same presentation every time you get the color of the box, and then inside the box, you have your bottle. Which at the end of the day, I know a lot of people really get crazy about the optics of everything, but I've always said this. The thing that's important is what's inside this bottle. The juice, all right? You can't smell how a box looks. Seriously, folks. Stop being douchey. The fact that it even comes in a box is a gift. They could just send you the fucking bottle. All right. So, now that we put that box down, we have, it's hard to see because of the gradient, but you have the Zaharoff symbol, and then, of course, there's Signature Rose on it. You have a very stiff cap, and you have a rose fragrance. Remember what I said a few minutes ago, right? Yeah, I still dislike rose. But here comes the caveat. This I can actually wear, but I found a little secret about this that maybe some people haven't figured out. Maybe some people have, because I literally disattached myself. Unattached myself. English getting butchered right now as we speak. Or as I speak. Yeah. It's been a long day. That's right. This, I think, smells phenomenal on a woman. But a guy can wear it too. It's pure unisex rose at its finest. Now, when you first spray this on, you're getting punched in the face with a ton of rose. Like, it's clawing. But give it 15 minutes. Don't squirt it and then run right out to be somewhere in 5 minutes. Give this about a half hour, 15 minutes, half hour to breathe, and it starts to, that rose kind of spreads itself a lot thinner and lets some of the other stuff go in. So let's talk about where this thing goes. Yeah, it's just like right off the bat, whew, she is, that's a lot of rose to take. I do. I love George. He is brilliant, but if I was just to take, like, if I was to sniff this on a strip, like, say it was being sold at, like, your local Macy's, right? Nope. But you buy from George, it's kind of a blind buy, right? You have to kind of trust the people on the internet. Like, what are you going to do? Right? That's right. What are you going to do? Fuck all nothing. That's what you're going to do. You're going to get it. You're going to wear it because you just bought it, right? Like I said, it calms down. It becomes very, very nice. Now, a little while ago when I got out of the shower, I squirted this one. And it, to me, like, at a pass, it smells good. But if you drive your nose into it, it's still too rosy for me. But at a pass, you start to pick up those other scents. Now, let's talk about those scents. Let's break it down according to what is out there, because it's hella accurate, which doesn't happen very often. Usually you get people's interpretation of what it is. But my nose tells me this is pretty much right on cue. When it opens up, surprise, you get rose. You get two types of rose right out the gate. They're kung fuing the fuck out of you with it. Thank you, George. You get Turkish rose and you get rose auto right out the gate. That's your opening. That is your top notes. Bam. Rose. Full on gorilla dick with the rose power. You know what? That's it. That's all they put in the top. But as they bring you into the middle, they said, you know what? You didn't get enough rose. You know what, fuckface? We're going to give you some more rose. We're going to hit you with Bulgarian rose. Yeah, totally happened. But they're like, you know what? We get it. Let's step away from the rose for a second. We're just going to give you some jasmine and some red peony because it wasn't flowery enough with the rose. But the amber that's in it, I believe it's golden amber that's in it, but the amber is divine. It sits in there perfect. It makes all this stuff kind of make sense as it starts to come together. And the middle really rides by fast. It's sort of like the difference between a rickshaw and a speed train. It goes by quick. And then you start to get into where it gets very complex and it settles in. It kind of hovers right there where you have the rose is kind of like an afterthought. Like, you can only smell the rose, but it's not clawing anymore. It backs itself off, leaves room for a really nice vanilla and sugarcane mixture that's sweet. And it's nice, but it's not so sweet that it's, like, sticky. It's just sweet. It invites you in. A little bit of sandalwood. Got a very, very, very forgiving oud that's in it. It's not dank or strong. Sort of like with his other fragrances. Like, you got the oud in there, but it just kind of adds that little bit of darkness, and it goes really good with the myrrh and the frankincense. And it just sits there, and it's fantastic. I can wear it. Will I wear it all the time? No, because I have to get through that beginning. And it's too strong for me as a person, and everybody's skin's different. Some people can wear certain stuff like in the summertime, it's like huge to wear heavy citrus stuff. Me, I put on heavy citrus. It smells good from about the distance from the bathroom to the kitchen, and then it just dies on me. It doesn't wear good on me. I'm really good at the darker fragrances, and the little more potent and challenging fragrances last better on me and my skin for some weird reason. But this right here, for a rose fragrance, I can wear it. I don't usually say that because I hate rose. But I want to support George. George has always been super kind to me. He is one of the nicest guys ever. If you ever buy something off and you have a quick conversation with him, he's a good guy. And he makes awesome fragrances. He really does. And if you're the type that when you go out kind of like to smell like your significant other, this is a good one. Because by the time you go out, it has a little bit of femininity, a little bit of masculinity that mixes really well. So as a couple, you go out, and as you're walking around, people will catch the smell of you and your significant other. And you're not going to be clashing one another because you both can wear the same thing. It's a great, like, going out to a function type thing where couples can wear it together. I think that's where this thing would make the biggest impact in your collection, personally, is you can wear it as a couple. But really, it really is a good fragrance. I suggest getting your nose on it before you buy it. If you're like me and you have a hard time with rose, because it is rose. You're not getting away from the rose. Granted, as it calms itself down, that rose backs itself off some. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're seeing this on the old Smell Good fragrance, please go over to the Truck Driver Sean thing, and I'll tell you, like, the guitar players already bailed on this a long time ago. They're like, we don't want to smell good. We want to smell like a donkey's taint. If you see a thing where I'm holding a guitar and it says Eris Effects or Ford or Paul Reed Smith, that's all guitar shit. It's not fragrance. Check the thumbnail. If you see my dumb ass going, or with a fragrance bottle in my hand, it's for you. You're going to like that content, right? Yeah. Who knows? Might like watching the guitar stuff. And the guitar guys might not want to smell like a donkey's taint anymore, and will pay the fuck attention. All right. Thanks for tuning in and for being patient with the fragrance things for my fragrance folks. Sorry, man. When I moved, I didn't even take my fragrances out of the box. They're still packed. I have not pulled my fragrances out. I don't know. The community beat me down, man. But I'm going to come back. I have a whole bunch of fragrances I really want to talk about. And I wanted to make this the first one on my little trip back into it. Because it's a good fragrance. And it just goes to show where normally I would never, ever buy a rose fragrance. But as you can tell, I've used it. It does wear good. Is it my daily grabber? No. That will always be Signature Pour-On. If you're a man and you don't own Signature Pour-On by Zaharoff, you clearly are missing something, because that stuff is fucking pitch bait going wild. That's right. Catch you next video. Later.